AI created this app in 7 seconds. How? Hi there, Pavis here. Do you want to start a business but don't have a team or money for research? Or do you want to launch something amazing but don't know where to start? What if I told you you could become a one-person powerhouse with just 2 free tools? Wow. Today I'm showing you how to combine NotebookLM and Gemini to do the work of an entire research and development team, all by yourself. And the best part, it's completely free. So let's dive in. Let's start with NotebookLM. Think of it as your brilliant research assistant who remembers everything they read. So what makes NotebookLM special? While most AI tools give you just generic answers, NotebookLM becomes an expert on exactly what you feed it with. It's like having someone who reads just your materials and masters them completely. So let me show you how easy it is to use. Let's go to notebook.google.com webpage. Just make sure you're logged in with your Google account. Click on Create New. So then you're getting presented with a pop-up window, and this is the place where you can feed NotebookLM pretty much anything. This can be PDFs and business reports. This can be text files, audio files. You can even directly connect to your Google Drive and pull the documents from there, like Google Docs and Google Slides. So you can access websites with the market data when you do a research, for example, by pasting the URLs from different websites, even YouTube videos and podcast transcripts. You can add up to 50 sources in one notebook, which is huge and perfect when you're researching a new business idea or market. One of the NotebookLM's newest and most powerful features is called Discover Sources, and it's located in the top right corner. So instead of manually finding information elsewhere, NotebookLM can search the web itself. So let's have a look. So once you click on Discover Sources, a new window appears, and this is the place where you start your research. You can research your business ideas or any topic you are interested in or would like to learn about. However, if you don't have anything in mind just yet, don't worry, you can always press I'm feeling curious button and NotebookLM will generate a random subject for you, and it's going to pull 10 different sources for this specific subject. But since I have something in mind already, I'm just going to go back and instead I'm going to look at the most recent studies about AI usage in content creation, focusing on data from 2024. In this specific window, you can be as granular as you like. You can focus on PDF files only or data sources from YouTube or specific time frame. It's really up to you how you phrase it here. Let's press submit. You can always double check your sources by clicking on this icon over here. Let's do that. Alternatively, if you are happy with the sources, you can press import, and that's going to be your first 10 sources ready for your research. As you can see, not all the sources have been successfully loaded, but that's not a big problem, so we can just delete those which haven't been loaded. So what's really cool about the Discover feature is that you can target specific types of sources. That can be forums, PDF files, YouTube videos. So let's go back to Discover, and this time around we'll try to find forum discussions where people talk about challenges using AI for content creation. This lets you gather real user feedback without spending hours on Reddit or specialized forums. On the left-hand side we have our sources loaded, and in the middle we have the brief description of the sources we just loaded. Also we can chat with our knowledge base asking questions, and at the bottom we actually have a suggested question by NotebookLM which we can press on. So what makes NotebookLM quite special is the source tracking. The game changer here is that NotebookLM keeps track of where information comes from. Now let's type a question into our NotebookLM chat. What are the top 10 challenges using AI for content creation? And see how NotebookLM synthesizes answers with citations. So see these little numbers? They show exactly where in your sources the information comes from. So let's just look at one of them. If I hover over the number and scroll down, I can find the exact source name. However, if I click on it and expand the source guide, so it gives you the summary of the source itself. Also, it highlights the information it took for the main chat. And if you would like to explore the source itself, you can open it in a new window by clicking this icon over here, like so. So this matters because you'll know exactly what real data is versus what AI might be making up. You can also double check your critical information before making business decisions, and you can explore details that might give you a competitive advantage. Once you have your sources ready, NotebookLM helps you make sense of them. Now let's generate a mind map to visualize the main concepts and their relationships. All you need to do, you just click on mind map. Once ready, it will appear under the studio section at the bottom of it. You click on your mind map. So in my case, it's artificial intelligence, challenges and concerns, technical limitations, and let's say I would like to learn more about the hallucination problem. So I click on it, and it automatically generates a new prompt within the chat saying discuss what these sources say about hallucination problem in the larger context of technical limitations. The output is actually generated based on the sources we've just uploaded, essentially on our knowledge base. So this is super cool and massively underrated feature in my opinion. Another mind-blowing feature is the audio overview. You can listen to the podcast-like conversation between two speakers on the sources or the information you've just uploaded. This is crazy. Just have a listen. Click generate.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a really huge topic: artificial intelligence.
Huge is right.
AI in content creation.
Oh, yes. Content.
It sounds like AI is becoming, well, a key player in...
You can even take part in these conversations by switching on the interactive mode. Let's have a look. Once you've generated your podcast, you have this interactive mode. So we can go there, and in here you just press play and then join button. In advance, I would like to apologize for the quality of the recording because for some reason OBS doesn't want to record the sound, but hopefully you can still hear it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a really huge topic: artificial intelligence.
Huge. And
Yeah, you've shared this fascinating collection of sorts. Whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
What ethical issues arise with AI-generated content?
Oh, that's a really important question.
Absolutely. There are several key ethical concerns.
One big one is bias. AI learns from data,
And if that data has existing biases, the AI can repeat them.
which can lead to unfair or discriminatory content.
Another issue is misuse. AI could be used to spread misinformation.
You got the idea. Quite cool, isn't it? There's also a study guide which includes the quiz, essay questions, and a glossary based on the sources. A briefing doc gives you a concise snapshot of key themes and important points. So NotebookLM can also generate FAQs from the sources to quickly cover common questions. So if relevant, we can create a timeline to track events or developments mentioned in the documents. But when it comes to actually building something with our research, that's where we need our second tool. Let's have a look at Gemini. So if NotebookLM is your researcher, Gemini is your creative partner who turns your insights into action plans and content. So a quick tip from me, always keep Canvas mode enabled for this workflow. It gives you a much better experience when creating business plans, content, or code. Why Gemini is perfect for this next step? So it can handle up to 700,000 words in one go. So it's amazing at writing code when you need a website or app for your idea. It can create pretty much anything: business plans, marketing copy, product designs. The canvas lets you edit and organize as you go. This is perfect for brainstorming. But real magic happens when we combine these two tools together. So let me show you how. Here's the workflow. Use NotebookLM to gather and understand information. Extract the key insight that mattered to your project. Then feed those insights to Gemini. And then the last step, have Gemini transform them into something that can actually be used. So let me show you two real examples that will completely change how you work. Our first use case is perfect for content creators, marketers, or entrepreneurs. So turning your market research into a complete content strategy. Let's go back to NotebookLM and create a new notebook. Just press create new. So let's say you are interested in creating content about sustainable coffee practices. Instead of making generic content, you want insight backed by real market trends and consumer needs. Click on Discover Sources. First, we would like to use NotebookLM to gather market research about sustainable coffee consumption. I prepared the following prompt for us. So find recent market research reports about sustainable coffee consumption trends. Press Submit. And then just select a few relevant sources. So we can deselect some reports we don't want to include, so that's not a problem. So I think we are good. We can import this 8 sources to begin with. For better organization of our workflow, I suggest we rename our sources we've just added and prefix market trends text in front of each source, like so. So the next step would be actually to understand what consumers are struggling with. So let's press Discover again. Now I'm planning to add the following prompt. Find discussions on Reddit where consumers talk about confusion related to sustainable coffee choices. Press Submit. And then just select the sources which are relevant to your analysis. So I'm going to deselect a couple of sources because they are not coming from Reddit. And then just click Import again. So the next step will be to analyze these consumer discussions. So make sure you deselect the market trends sources at the moment and select just the consumer discussions. So now we're going to use our chat to query our knowledge base. We have the following prompt prepared. Based on these consumer discussions, what are the top 5 most common challenges people have about sustainable coffee? Include specific examples for each. And then just press Submit. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to save this output as a note. So let's press to Save to Note. And on the right hand side, under the Studio section, our new note has been generated. We click on it and then convert it to a source. Just click Convert to Source, and our new source has been generated over here under the Sources section. So by default, it's named it as Challenges in Sustainable Coffee. So let's just quickly rename it by clicking on 3 dots, rename the source, and then let's just rename it to Consumer Pain Points Analysis. So our new source has been generated and renamed. So once our consumer pain points have been identified, we can proceed with the content opportunities analysis. So then what we can do, we can select all the sources apart from the consumer pain points analysis we've just created, and then type the following prompt. Compare the market trends with consumer challenges, identify 3 or 4 content opportunities that align with growing market trends but aren't well addressed. Press Submit. So once we've done that, we can save this output as a note, press Save to Note. So our new note has been generated. It's called Sustainable Coffee, Trend, Challenges and Opportunities. So let's press on it and convert it to source. So press Convert to Source, and then let's try to find it. So it's over here. So in order to find it easier, let's rename it to Content Opportunities Analysis and save it. So and here we have our consumer pain points analysis and content opportunities analysis we've just generated. So do you see what we did there? Instead of gathering information ourselves from different places manually, we've used NotebookLM to analyze and extract specific insights that will drive our strategy. And because of this source grounding, we know that these insights are based on actual data and not AI imagination. And for the final step, we'll be using Gemini. So make sure you go to gemini.google.com, then select Gemini 2.5 Pro model. So make sure Canvas mode is enabled, just click on it, and now comes the magic. So let's take those structured insights we've just generated in NotebookLM, i.e. the consumer pain points analysis and content opportunities analysis, and paste it into Gemini. And now add the following prompt. Using these research insights from NotebookLM about sustainable coffee consumption, create a comprehensive content strategy that includes: first, 3 core content pillars based on identified market opportunities. For each pillar, 3 specific content ideas. Third, a content calendar suggesting sequence and timing. And fourth, key metrics to track for measuring success. And super important, ensure all content ideas directly address the identified consumer pain points. And just like that, we've gone from raw research to a complete data-backed content strategy in minutes. As requested, we've got our core pillars, and for each pillar, we've got our detailed content ideas. So notice how specific and targeted the strategy is. It's not generic advice, but directly tied to the actual market insights we've discovered in NotebookLM. Now, watch how we rescue a chaotic redesign project in under 5 minutes in our next example. Our second use case demonstrates how this workflow can actually transform a scattered information into a cohesive plan, something which is incredibly useful for professionals, team leads, or anyone managing complex projects. In NotebookLM, let's create a new notebook. Just press Create New. Let's imagine you are leading a website redesign project. You've got various documents all over the place, like client requirements, team notes, technical specs, and stakeholder feedback. So as you remember, in step 1, we are adding all these sources to NotebookLM. So let's press Upload Sources. I've got the project brief document, I've got the high-level tech requirements, and the team notes. So let's add all these sources to NotebookLM. So with everything in one place, let's extract the key information. In our chat, let's ask the following question. What are the main objectives and requirements for this website redesign project, according to all sources? Press OK. So once response is ready, we can save it as a separate note. So let's save it to note. We can see it's been generated on the right-hand side. Then once it's ready, we click on it and convert it to source. So press on convert to source. Then I suggest to rename it to something more meaningful, like project objectives summary, and save it. So then we can deselect our project objectives summary for now and type the following question. So extract all the mentioned deadlines, milestones, and timeline expectations across all sources. So let's press OK. So then save it to note, click on it, and convert it to a source again. So we can see our new source has been just generated. Let's rename it to project timeline elements and press save. We can deselect this project timeline element source for now. And let's type in our chat the following. Identify all stakeholders mentioned and their specific concerns or priorities for this project. And then press OK. So let's save this response to note. Click on it and then convert to a source. Just press convert to source. And then again, let's rename it to something more meaningful, like stakeholder analysis. Save it. So the next step is to synthesize all this information in NotebookLM. So let's select all the three sources we've just created, so i.e. the project objectives summary, project timeline elements, and stakeholder analysis. So and then in our chat, let's prompt it with the following prompt. Synthesize these project elements into a comprehensive project overview that connects objectives, timeline constraints, and stakeholder priorities. Press submit, and then again you can save it to note, convert to a source, and then let's just rename it to consolidated project brief and press save. For step 3, we're gonna go back to Gemini, create a new chat there, then select right model, which is 2.5 Pro, enable canvas, and then go back to NotebookLM to your sources. So from the sources, we click on consolidated project brief and then copy everything from here to Gemini. And then in Gemini, let's add the following prompt. Based on this consolidated project information from NotebookLM, create a comprehensive website redesign project plan that includes, first, project objectives and success metrics, detailed project phases with specific deliverables, a week-by-week timeline with key milestones, resource allocation recommendations, risk assessments and mitigation strategies, and also format this as a professional project plan that could be presented to stakeholders. And then let's press submit. Look at that transformation. We took scattered documents with no clear structure and turned them into a comprehensive professional project plan in minutes. So the key here is that NotebookLM ensured we didn't miss any critical details from any source, while Gemini transformed that information into a structured and actionable plan. Both tools are completely free right now. I don't know how long that would last, but now is the perfect time to try this workflow. So whether you're starting a business, creating content, or managing projects, this combination gives you capabilities that used to require entire teams and big budgets. Do you want to grab the exact prompts I've used in this video? Feel free to do so. I'm gonna leave them in the description. If you found this video useful, please smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. You can also leave the comment if you have any questions. I read all of them. Unfortunately, not many of them are coming. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.